Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Alois, Anerdinwarpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Eerie V23, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Tomasz, Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, as we officially leave the streets behind us and take this into the dungeon. Now, while the large-scale street skirmishes are officially behind us, we do still have a fair amount of fighting ahead of us. I figure we've got about 3, 4, maybe even 5 episodes worth of defenses to carve through before we actually confront Staunton and Vhane. But we're getting there. At our current rate of progress, I figure we'll be into Act 3 by episode 50. I should also note that I did go ahead and revamp Arushale. She now has Cleaving Shot instead of Enduring. I do still want her to eventually pick up Greater Enduring. It's just less of a priority now that we have that lesser Rod of Extend. Anyway, let's get in there. This dungeon's not going to clear itself. Right. We came in on the stairs, so we are headed this way. Thank you, Aru. Oh. Whispers of madness. Demonic spirits haunt the walls of the dungeon. And while their constant whispering never becomes loud enough to allow intelligible speech to be heard, the constant murmurs grate on the nerves. Every 10 minutes, non-chaotic evil creatures must pass a will save, or take 2 points of charisma damage, as the whispering slowly drives them mad. Well, that's not great. We have multiple charisma-based characters. Though we can get some extra wiggle room with restoration. Oh, yeah, and there's an immediate hit to the pet pals, right. Oh man, they're in trouble. We'll have to move quick. Pardon me while I pass through. Oh, well, that's clearly not what I wanted. I forgot I rearranged my sidebar. Ow. Okay, we're off to a rough start here. Alright, 5 feet into the dungeon, and we're down like 100 hit points and 6 charisma. We might have to rest sooner rather than later. Though, I mean, we are still in decent shape here. That was just a rockier start than I anticipated. Moving on. Oh, Yaniel. Okay. An old woman, half-elf by her appearance, hangs limp in the shackles. Her head is slumped down to her chest, and strands of dirty gray hair cover her face. Her rags don't conceal the poor woman's horrible condition. Her body is covered in old scars and fresh wounds. A piece of flesh has been torn from her left leg, and there are numerous fang marks on her arms. Her right wrist appears to have been gnawed, and the hand has withered. It's hard to believe that life still lingers in such a mutilated body, but the woman raises her head with effort. Clear blue eyes stare back at you from under her gray eyelashes. Crusaders, here. I thought I was delirious when I heard the sounds of battle. After so many years, are we really retaking Dresden? Yeah, we are. I'm sorry, who are you? My name won't mean anything to you. It's been so many years. My name is Yaniel. I used to be a knight of the Citadel, when Dresden was still a proud Crusader stronghold. On the day Dresden fell, I was covering the refugee retreat. Alas, I was taken alive by the spawn of the Abyss as they flooded the city. Ever since then, I've been locked up here, within these walls that were once my home. Now a prison and a torture chamber. The woman drops her head heavily to her chest. Yaniel? Why, that is a name remembered throughout Mendev to this day. Friends, we are in the presence of a living legend. Or rather, a half-living one. Yaniel? Oh, I know that name. They used to have marches in the River City in her honor. But that was a very long time ago. It must be so strange to feel alive when you've been dead to the world for so long. I'm impressed by your resilience, Knight. I wonder if I would keep my mind in self-control after so many years of torture. It's a serious question. Are you feeling quite well, Paralictor? That's an awfully bold confession for you. The gnome pays no attention to the Aasimar's barbed comment. Yaniel? Yaniel herself? You don't know me, although I didn't mind meeting you. But I went to your memorial service. It was painful for everyone, but your memory brought people together. Many say that we can't give up, because Yaniel didn't give up till the end. So all this is not in vain. Only, I thought you were younger. Yeah, about that, Finn. Okay, well, obviously we're not going to go gushing over an old Crusader hero, but I don't think Vex would necessarily be cruel to her either. This is pretty mean. Vex might not have a high opinion of Crusaders, but he's not going to kick someone after they've been tortured for 80 years. I mean, maybe if they wronged him personally, but this is not that. Wow, Yaniel, huh? Yeah, you know what? People do still talk about you back in Canabras. Apparently, you're still a big deal. A lot of folks are going to be happy to hear you're still kicking around. I would ask how that could possibly help me now, but it would be wrong, wouldn't it? All our lives we are told that memory is better than oblivion, and respect is better than scorn. It will be interesting to feel like a hero everyone admires and holds up as an example. The woman smiles strangely. Remembering the Crusaders of the past was the only thing that saved my people from becoming completely feral, Lan says softly. Our tribe was forgotten by everyone, but we kept the memories of the Crusades alive. Without it, we would have just perished in the dark. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get you down from there before this goes any further. Kaz, did you just punch Yaniel? Yeah, let's not do that. The freedwoman leans heavily against the wall. Thank you. After so many years. Finally. So you've really been here for what, the past century? Ever since the First Crusade? Oh yes, I saw all that. The woman smiles a strange smile. The walls of the citadel seemed indestructible, like mountains. But they were not Dresden's true defenses. The sword was. It alone weakened the demons and stopped them from teleporting here freely. It gave the defenders here hope. So it was until the ambitious and arrogant young Staunton brought the city to ruin. He stole the banner and doomed Dresden to fall. Staunton was once a strong fighter, the bane of demons. But he became the executioner of his comrades. Such things happen. I don't suppose the sword is still around here somewhere? That's kind of what we're here for. The woman closes her eyes. I feel its presence, even now when the sword is weak and dormant. It is near, in this very citadel. There is a passage from my prison to it. Keep going through the dungeon, and you'll find the banner. Cool. Well, that is very convenient. Thank you. If you, don't mind me asking, why didn't the demons just kill you? The woman closes her eyes and speaks pensively, in a measured, introspective manner. The demons, if you think about it, they're interesting creatures. They appeared when mortal souls touch the fabric of the abyss, and they always carry it with them, the imprint of humanity. It is distorted but visible. You might expect entirely inhuman thought and action from the spawn of the plane of primal chaos. But in fact, they are often mundane and relatable. And one of their manifestations of this deep humanity is the demon's love of trophies. I am one such trophy, a living reminder of the day that they washed over the strongest Crusader fortress, like a tidal wave, and turned it into their den. Well, that's unsettling. Alright, well, Yaniel, I think the whole torture thing's behind us, so you just stay put here. We're gonna go clear out the rest of this dungeon, retake Dresden, and we'll grab you on the way back out. Sound good? Alright. We'll talk later. Interesting. I'm not sure I really see demons keeping a prisoner alive for 100 years. Though I suppose I could see someone like Minago being pretty vindictive. Defense by offense. +2 mithril comma. That also grants a +1 dodge bonus. Interesting. I wonder if those passive bonuses still apply if you have them in an off slot. They did back in Kingmaker, but I want to say they fixed it at some point. Oh, hey guys. Oh. That could have been bad. I think we'll just get a rue on that.
out of my sight!
Gotta remember that's number 4 now. I'm actually a little surprised we're still getting decent mileage out of that. I remember it being all but useless at this point back in the beta.
Retreat is not an option! I will see to your demise!
Boy, this is awkward. Slightly less awkward now. Thank you. Well, I'm no expert, but that does look like a particularly valorous sword. There doesn't appear to be any way to get down from here, so I suppose we have to go around the long way. Fair enough. +2 intelligence and charisma. Interesting. I guess we could toss that to Aru. Actually, would she even gain any real benefit from that? Is she our highest arcana? No, that's Ember. Who's also keyed off charisma, so we'll toss that to Ember. That'll net her an extra +1 arcana. And then we'll pass Ember's headband over to Aru. That's a nice little upgrade for both of them. That looks a lot like a door. But it's not marked as interactive, so...
Here. Is there more?
Oh, cool. We found the corpse storage. Neat. I hate that. Whoop. Oops. False alarm. Thought there was someone in the hall. I was clearly mistaken.
I'm glad it was useful to you.
Intriguing. The remains of the unknown warrior exude a holy aura. His death at the hands of the demons was a martyr's death. Oh, Bastard Sword of Hope. We found one of those back at the Reliable Redoubt. It's funny, the first thing that springs to mind is me wanting to dual-wield these things, which would require a very specific build, but would be possible. Granted, it would be wildly impractical, but I do like the idea of hacking and healing simultaneously. The pain and fear of the people who died here are powering an evil magic, which fills the Citadel with whispers of madness. Oh, so this is the source of the whispering. Interesting. Alright, let's have a look. I would like to get rid of that debuff, if at all possible. Fervent whispering is concentrated around this stone. A multitude of voices whisper spells of dispel and banishment magic, pronouncing them erratically, halting, then trying again. A crude inscription is carved on the stone. Repeat after us. Simple enough. That's a guaranteed success. A multitude of voices speak several ancient languages at once. A crude inscription is carved on the stone. Talk to us. Okay. A multitude of voices whisper prayers to several gods at once, both the perished and the living. A crude inscription is carved on the stone. Pray with us. Oof, DC 30. That one might actually be a problem. Arcane's guaranteed. We're 75% on world knowledge. We just got this Wand of Good Hope. Let's up our chances. So we're pretty set for those first two checks. It's really just the religion that might fail. We're 60% on that one.
I think I did it.
Nice. Nice. Boo. Alright, we've got Spectres. These are level drainers.
Kneel before me.
Oh, they actually have portraits now. That's nice. Pretty spooky.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Let's toss a death ward on Darren. Yeah, if he gets level drained, then we can't fix level drain. And we've got a third Spectre. Okay, good. Alright, no harm done. Let's try this again. Oh, in fact, let's use that weird fan we found way back in Canabras. I keep forgetting I have this thing. %. And that will do it. That gets rid of the Whispers of Madness. Yeah, not bad. That could have gone a whole lot worse. Onward, my friends. Trap. So we've got stairs in both directions. That's interesting. Theric Null. Cleric Rogue. That's not too bad. He's tough, but not insurmountable. And that looks like undead immunities down at the bottom. Flat-footed AC is only 25, so, well, Regil, what are you doing, man? And we've got a secret door.
By your order.
Make that secret doors. I don't like that. Yeah, this is just screaming ambush. Let's hedge our bets. You know what? We'll do a haste too.
I like you.
So this is who was making all that noise. I'm going to hush you now. Are you? From all the way down there?
I will resist.
I'm gonna guess that didn't play out quite the way you thought it would. Let's ease ourselves away from this wall. Ah, vampire spawn. Yes, that does track. Get out of here. Well, I didn't really want you there, Aru, but I guess that's fine.
This one's mine.
These things can dominate, so this could still get messy. Oh, we lucked out there. I literally just shuffled Blood Clarity onto Zorm. That's the cloak that makes you immune to mind effects after getting a kill. Not too shabby. There was a lot at stake here. But we took it to heart. Oh, hold on. Speaking of which... unless we hit his exploding gland, Theric Null appears to be... missing. Yeah, there's no loot bag. I think he's just straight up gone. Which does make sense if he's a greater vampire. I pulled that trick a few times myself, back when I, still ran tabletop. The wall in this place looks fragile. There's a ghastly stench coming through the tiny cracks. Is that so? I bet he missed us. Kill vampire. That's a bit on the nose, but yes, we should probably do that. There are old, ragged books in rare languages on the shelf. Some of them are bound in leather, and it doesn't look like calf skin. Sheepskin. Very versatile. Not all that unusual. Also worth noting, despite all these bookshelves, we have not actually found any books.
I'm prepared.
Don't mind us, we're just gonna open up your chest.
I finished here. Is there more?
Eluding target. +2 buckler. +2 additional dodge bonus versus attacks with two-handed weapons. That's fun. Sadly, we do not use bucklers. I mean, we could still toss that to Cam, but she's not going to get much use out of it at this point. Theric Null and Void. The vampire writhes as he meets his final death. Poor guy's having a coffin fit. Dust too dusty. I'm sorry, I'm done. It's just, there are too many easy ones here. Tender Touch, +2 Rapier, Necrotic. Whenever you cast the Vampiric Touch spell, it upgrades the damage die to a d8. Which would be fun for like a Magus. Though I think it's pretty obvious these are intended for Cam. Let's see what else awaits us.
Close ranks.
Please. Sheer carnage. Who's next? Huh. Bow before me. Gentlemen? Oh, we've got an Abasu. Level drain on Zorm. We can fix that. But let's take this guy down quick. We are not made of diamonds. another level off Zorm and one off Regil. No, not that. Ember! Huh. We're actually okay on Diamond Dust. Let's get this fixed. Oh yeah, I forgot about the charisma damage. But that should also heal over time. Nicely done, heroes. Let us proceed. Joran Vhane. That's Staunton's brother. We met him back in Canabras. Solemn Hour. Erebeth's sword? This is new. +2 Cold Iron Evil Outsider Bain Longsword. Wow. Well, now I'm kind of sad we don't have Sela with us, because this would be fantastic. I mean, just as well, I suppose. We should probably give this thing back. Spare us from evil in this solemn hour. Yeah, she could probably use this. She's not exactly in great shape these days. Rabid Underdog. +2 Heavy Pick. Automatically confirms crits against large and bigger creatures. Not of particular use for our crew, but if you were built for heavy picks, that would be fantastic. Auto-confirmation on a ×4 crit is pretty ridiculous. Joran? Compared to the deplorable state the city is in, this room is remarkably clean and orderly. Its simple furnishings look solid and made to last. A man you met in Canabras is standing by the anvil. Blacksmith Joran Vhane. On seeing you, he raises his bushy gray eyebrows in surprise. So this is who's been making all that noise around here. Well, come on in. Have a seat. I could hear the ringing of your anvil from my cell. I thought the only things being forged in the demon-controlled city of Dresden would be chains and spikes for cruel torture. But the music of your forge never sounded evil to me. Thanks for the kind words. You must have good ears if you heard my forge all the way from the dungeons. And you must be that treacherous demoness Staunton was talking about? Well, nice to meet you. If paladins go over to the demon side, there must be demons going over to the paladin side. Or it wouldn't be fair, would it? Okay, well, before this turns ugly, let's go with this. Hey, Joran, buddy. Funny running into you here. You said you were going to forge a new scabbard for us, right? For Radiance? I did, that's true. And that means I've done it. Joran Vhane always delivers on his word. The blacksmith opens a chest that stands near the anvil and carefully takes out a gilded scabbard. As soon as the sword is inside it, it begins to radiate warmth. The steel blade, darkened by time, becomes brighter and shiny before your eyes. You see, the sword recognizes you. I don't like to brag, but this scabbard is even finer than the one I once made for Yaniel. Well, a good sword needs a good scabbard, right? Use it well, and remember me in your prayers. Will do, buddy, but do you mind if I ask you what you're doing here? What I do everywhere. I forge metal. Everyone can fight, right? Breaking, destroying. Anyone you ask, they're ready to do it. Creating things, on the other hand, that takes a little extra knack. Okay, but how did you get here? Well, you know, my brother is here. You know him, Staunton. Yes, I know there's a noose waiting for him in Canabras for treason. I told him not to get involved with that crazy woman. But when did he ever listen to me? The horned wench promised him heaps of gold, and he believed her, so he came here with her. He's some sort of military commander here, but there's no one to lead except for all sorts of vermin. And I... To everyone, he's a traitor worse than a Relu, but to me, he's still my brother. I couldn't leave him, bad lot that he is. I followed him, tried to talk him out of it, but it didn't work. He wouldn't listen. Now I've taken up here, working, like I do. Yeah, I get that. Siblings, what are you gonna do? Though I suppose Vex might not see it that way. I understand. Family's family. So is Staunton here? Where else would he be? Not in Canabras, that's for sure. The dwarf gives you a reproachful look. Of course, he's done things in the past. But the Crusaders just never cut him any slack. He tried for a decade to atone for what he did. Then 2 decades. Then 3. Half a century. And still, they treated him like dirt. So my brother lashed out. He did a bad thing, sure. But who wouldn't in his place? He's not made of stone or copper, even if he is a dwarf. That crazy eyeless hag with horns. She got into his head. Demons are like that, you know. They can tempt. Among the Crusaders, my brother was the lowest of the low. But here he commands power and respect. And he doesn't think of the cost. Ha! Joran waves his hand, clearly vexed. Every betrayer has their own sob story to excuse their actions. And each one thinks they are different from the rest. That they alone should be understood and shown mercy. I'm sick of hearing it. No, I'm not making excuses for him. My brother is a dum-dum, and he'll get his. I'm not talking about mercy either. It's just sad it ended up this way. If everything turned out differently, maybe he'd be storming Dresden with you now. You know, speaking of Dresden, you were friends with Yaniel, right? You and Staunton both. Did you know she's here? She's been stuck here, tortured for 100 years. What, did you miss her on your way in? Or did Staunton just not tell you she's here? What? The dwarf seemed stunned. We thought Yaniel was dead. My brother mourned her death as much as the fall of Dresden. She couldn't be here. My brother would have known. He would have done something. She's just down the hall. You can go have a chat with her if you don't believe me. Joran looks at you heavily for a while. I have to choose whether I believe you or trust everything I know and love about my brother. I'll choose the latter. Staunton wouldn't allow Yaniel to be treated cruelly. And that means you're either lying or mistaken. All right, man. You may have noticed lately that your brother has changed somewhat. Befriending demons leaves its mark. I fear his personal moral standards may have dropped. If I had to be more precise, I'd say they're currently hovering somewhere around the level of the abyss. I don't believe it. Demons are bad enough, but Staunton torturing Yaniel? Listen, I know my brother. I know how low he has fallen, but that simply isn't possible. Okay, well, Joran, we're retaking Dresden. We've already taken out most of the demons, and it's just a matter of time before we take down Staunton, too. You don't have to stay here. You're free to go. Am I? The blacksmith shakes his head and shows you his hands. See for yourself. I'm not wearing any shackles. What keeps me here is stronger than chains. It's called brotherly love. And you can't free me from it. Even Staunton himself couldn't break it, no matter how hard he tried. So it turns out I'm stuck here. Where my silly brother goes, I go. You sure about that? Because you are not going to like where he goes next. Look, just stay out of the way, okay? Wait. Your cause is good, and I like you. But blood is thicker than water. Of course, Staunton is wholly to blame, and his sentence is fair. But a brother's a brother, and I won't let anyone kill him. You'll have to kill me first. I respect principles. It will be an honor for me to kill you. Man, I like Joran. Come on, you don't have to do this. Maybe if we work together, we can both convince him to stand down. I mean, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He is going to end up in prison, but I'm mostly just here to kill Monago. Your brother's kind of incidental. The dwarf shakes his head regretfully. No, I'm sorry, but no. I know him better than you. Believe me, he's gone too far. No one can convince him. Not me, not you. Not even Torak himself. But why do we have to fight, Mr. Joran? You're so good. In the River City, I loved going to your forge in winter to warm myself. I would sit and listen to your anvil sing its song. Ting, ting, ting. And you never chased me away. You even gave me bread sometimes, or a candy. And now you want us to kill you? Why? Sometimes good people have to kill each other. It's just our lot. Nothing we can do about it. I generously toss crust to a little beggar girl, while at the same time helping my demon-collaborating brother, whose actions have led to the deaths of entire families. Aren't I just the bleeding heart? Darren drawls mockingly. The thought of you going to your grave wallowing in your own self-righteousness is enough to turn my stomach. I do so regret that we did not kill Staunton first. I should have liked to see your reaction, Smith. Be a good sport. Die whimpering, knowing that your brother was the demon's plaything, and that you were the hypocrite who helped him. You'll both make a fine feast for the worms, at least. Wow. Yeah, I guess Darren would have more reason than anyone else here to take this personally. What with his whole extended family being slaughtered by demons and all. Jeez. Joran bears his weapon. Enough talk. Words can't change what happens next. Defend yourselves. Well, this is unfortunate. Sadly, from what I understand, only 2 specific mythic paths can actually spare Joran. Neither of which we are currently pursuing.
You won't survive me.
38 AC flat-footed. Well, that's not great for us. Okay, well, fingers crossed. Yeah, why not? That seems about right. Hey. I might have to find a way to keep Zorm in the party. Oh good, more AC. That's definitely what he needed. Oh, we are very close. One more solid hit'll drop him. Oh, come on. 80% chance to land that hit.
Endure this!
And down he goes. Poor guy. Didn't even have decent gear. The air in the forge is heavy with the supernatural power coming from the anvil. The heat that pulses through the forge is not the heat of an ordinary fire. Neat. Alright, folks. We're past time, and I'm bummed out, having just killed Joran and all. Though, to be fair, we had a much easier time with that than we really should have. That 40 plus AC should have been nearly impossible for us to hit. I think even with all of our bonuses stacked, we were only rolling like plus 20s. But I'm not going to question it. We've had a good run today. And we've made some decent progress, more than I thought we would. We might actually knock this out a bit quicker than I thought we would. So we will hit the pause button for now. I'll take a quick breather, and we will pick up here next time, as we continue our siege on Staunton's Citadel. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.
I'm prepared. Is there more?